do a cartoon. I often suggest the structure of the cartoon myself, and sometimes when I'm really annoyed because newspapers don't respond to me, I sometimes do the cartoon myself, often quite badly, because I am not a cartoonist, right? And if you look through my book over there, you'll see that cartoons can be very, very funny. For example, on page 203, where I wrote an article about this skin whitening creams. Rub this cream on, it will be fair and beautiful and all that. So here was this article called Fair and Foul Skin Whitening Creams, where I talk about the whole racism, behind these advertisements and all that. If you're dark, you're not beautiful. In my cartoon, I had drawn this absolutely, unattractive looking woman who's supposedly fair, and this absolutely gorgeous looking woman who is dark, except that I had put in my shading using, some kinds of crayons and things, the black crayons, and when they came to print, all the black shading disappeared. So it appears that they're both the same skin color. But in my original cartoon, this was a dark black woman, very, very sexy looking, and this was actually a fair woman, it's not particularly attractive. And the sexy woman, fair woman is saying, oh, I'm so fair and lovely, and she's thinking, and you are dark and ugly, is the way the kind of society thinks. And here's this woman thinking some very, very nasty thoughts indeed, about how she is being called, unattractive just because she is dark, right? So the cartoon can be very, very, funny and all that, and sometimes cartoons can be very, very serious and deadly and terribly, terribly, painful. As when I wrote an article in '96, when women choose to die, and there is a woman who is walking off with a can of kerosene with her, and she's taking her little kid with her. And the little kid is asking her, Mommy, where are we going? And the woman says, somewhere we won't have any more problems. Deadly stuff, just one little cartoon, you tell the whole story. It's worth 1,000 words. And they can make or break articles. When I wrote these articles on exclusion of people from rugby, I drew my own cartoon. It was okay, not bad. But then I got this fellow here, Joe Ulunadewa, to do one for me professionally when I was putting out the book. And this is what appeared on the front page, a fantastic, cartoon which really brings out the contrast between the condition under which, Fijians, Tongans and Samoans play rugby, the kinds of fields and all that, and the kinds in which Australian and New Zealand and South Africans play rugby. So again, a cartoon is very, very important. If you can put it in, it's worth 1,000 words. Next, last one, when editors don't contribute cartoons, I've done them myself, often quite poorly. But, a good graphics artist can make a huge difference. And you can see that, for example, over the years, our local newspapers has never bothered to actually develop good cartoonists and pay them good salaries. But you look at the international newspapers, a good cartoonist, it's so absolutely wonderful what they can do with just one little picture. They can convert an entire foreign policy. In one story, in one cartoon, they can just rubbish the entire American foreign policy or the Australian policy or whatever. And cartoons are very important. I did one when this coup took place here in Fiji in 2006. We got two opposing sides, and both of them all think actually that they are right, and both sides think that God is on their side. So I thought of this cartoon. You've got a big mountain. There's a railway track, and it's going through the mountain. There's just two trains going into the darkness of this mountain. One from each side. Each of them are waving flags and saying God is on our side. You know what happens, of course, when two trains go into a mountain on the same track. And that's what it appeared to me in December 2006 when I looked at all the arguments that were going on from both sides. And a good cartoon, I think some of that came out in that article, but sometimes it didn't come out.